Hello, my name is Matt Bird. I'm the CEO of Monk Media. I'd like to thank everybody for coming down today for this very special event for Mimvi. It marks a great milestone for the company. I ask everybody to hold their questions for management until the end. With that said, I'm proud to introduce Mimvi's management, Mike Boutre. Gentlemen.
Thank you, Matt. I'd also like to thank the NASDAQ for having us here. As anybody who is in the world of public companies knows, where we're standing right now is considered hallowed ground. So we are privileged and humbled to be here, and thankful to the NASDAQ, so thank you. The reason that we are here is because we have been able to persevere and overcome some difficult times for the past year and a half and make some really good breakthroughs, not in terms of technology and where we're going for our shareholders. Our journey and why we're here is about three things: technology, vision, and execution. The technology that we have based our business around was developed by the gentleman behind me, our founder, Cajun Franks. What this technology does is bring us to a new front in mobile search and in where the technology field is going over the next 5 years. We are transitioning from the economy of the fixed internet to a mobile app economy. And that's not a linear transition. The same rules are not going to apply in the old internet as they do in the mobile world. The technology that we have developed and the significant advancements that we have made in mobile search, which we're going to be talking about in a little bit, are going to help transition every user of mobile technology to an easier and more relevant search experience. Behind that technology is a vision of where we're going and execution of that vision. How this business of the app economy is going to roll out is something that we are very proud to say that we have a line on, something that we believe is going to work and is working, and we're executing on it. Also behind me is Eric Rice, whom will be Mimvi's Chief Revenue Officer once we complete our merger with his company. Eric is going to talk to you about the deals that we are looking at, the type of business that the app economy is going to envelop, and how that is different from where we are now. And I would be remiss if I didn't say that this is all possible because of the ability for the company to finance and refinance itself and restructure itself over the last year and a half. And this is due greatly in part to another gentleman behind me, our CFO, Kevin Connor. So what I would like to do now is turn things over to Cajun Franks, who is our founder. He developed this technology. He's going to talk to you about how important this is, the significant advancements that we are making, and how it all led up to us now releasing, as of this press conference, well, I should say that we have submitted to Microsoft, whom most of you know, we've developed a relationship with recently, our native app, which is our flagship and core technology, which as soon as it's able to be released will be available on the Windows 8 platform, and it will be exclusive to Microsoft Windows 8 users over the next 30 days. And then we will roll it out on the Mac and Android and other platforms as well, so that everybody has a chance to experience Mimvi technology via their mobile device. But to be here before you to say that Mimvi has now arrived. We have relaunched and reskinned our new website. We have launched our native app. And we are looking forward to paving the way for how mobile business is done in the future. But to talk to you more about our technology, Cajun Franks. Oops, sorry.
Hi,
Cajun Franks. Well, what can I say? We are in the business of breakthroughs. And what this means for us is, like Mike had said, significant advancements in the area of search, mobile search in particular, or helping consumers find and discover apps. The reason why that's so important, mobile apps are the new websites. So everyone's asking themselves, should I get an app? Like they were asking themselves about websites back in 1997. Should I get a website? Nobody asked that question today. In the real near future, nobody's going to ask whether or not they need an app. So mobile apps, they're pervasive. Everybody's going to have one. Actors, celebrities, politicians, musicians, individuals, companies. How do you find these mobile apps? This is what we're addressing today, and we're not just addressing it with regurgitated technology. Like I had mentioned before, we are in the business of breakthroughs, and what that means is we're also in the business of innovation. And we're not in the business of regurgitating technology or taking something off the shelf and giving it to consumers. The algorithms we've developed have been developed from the ground up. We have patents in process on these, and they have attracted some of the largest partners that exist in the world today, in particular, Microsoft. Now, we will be working with Microsoft on a number of fronts. We're not free to discuss in detail, but we will be releasing information in the future about our progress with Microsoft. And as you can imagine, as a search company, search technology company, that attracts some of the top competitors or largest partners that are all competing. They're competing in two spaces right now. They're not, well, let me just say they're competing in two spaces, search and mobile. Search is a multi-billion-dollar a year business, 53 billion I think it is, in terms of what Google alone can produce from search. Well, Google searches for websites. We search for apps, mobile apps. They're the new websites. So this also leads to a greater opportunity here. As we have patents in process, we develop our algorithms from the ground up. We have a team that's been doing this for years and years and years. This is what we eat, sleep, and breathe. The opportunity that arises from this is revenue, transactions in particular. And as a search engine technology company, you generate revenue with the sponsored search result model. You also generate revenue with maybe an AdSense-like model, something that we call Mimvi link. Now, we have those opportunities right here today. We also have the opportunity of in-app transactions. This means a revenue share that can occur based on transactions that happen inside of apps. This is what we'll be working on. It's all exciting stuff. We're executing. We've proven that we can execute. We've proven that we can execute in the past. This is what we're going to continue to do. We're going to attract additional partners, and we're going to attract additional revenue here. And that's something that I'd like to turn over to our Chief Revenue Officer, Eric.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for coming. Get some smiles out there. This is a happy day for us here. One of the things that I want to make clear to everyone through the press conference is our revenue strategy moving forward. There's two basic approaches that we're looking at. We see the marketplace for innovation also being a marketplace of collaboration. With all the innovation that's occurring through technology, technological advancements, there are a lot of things being left behind that are basic core revenue models. And one of those, I like to call, there's really no term for it, but I like to call them needle apps, which are basically buried in a haystack. Currently, you look at mobile apps, and the real differentiator between app A and app B generally becomes the quality and its ability to perform on a consistent basis throughout its course, which all apps do run a course, just like websites run a course. However, what we're doing in that area is we're actually looking for, we're finding developers all across the world who have tremendously high quality apps that are available, partnering up with them, installing a lot of the technologies that Cajun has created, improving the app and getting it to a higher quality, and then basically taking that out to market through the social media networks. So we're creating basically an entire business model behind each application. As opposed to taking them as a piece of technology, we take the approach of creating a micro business model. So by taking the actual app itself from the marketplace and wrapping it with sales, marketing, business development, added additional technology, as well as content, which is a major portion of the people we're reaching out to in the marketplace. Content teams have not found a way to monetize themselves yet, which is pretty obvious in the marketplace. But what we're doing is combining all three of these into offerings that each user can actually open up every morning, enjoy, be entertained, as well as educated if they so desire. Not every app is designed to be intelligent. Some are just entertaining. But content teams are essential to us. So moving forward, our revenue model comes in two phases. Kajan had mentioned Mimvi Link, which Mimvi Link is, as a technology in its own, really becomes one of the ultimate discovery tools for app developers out there. Now, by taking collaboration of different teams, pooling together micro businesses, and generating in-app transactions, which is, make no mistake, that is the future and that's where we're headed. By capturing as many in-app transactions and partnering with as many good development teams and groups such as Entrepreneur Media, a group that we've just teamed up with, a fantastic team of folks that really do inspire the entrepreneur community. Entrepreneurs are the future, they are the past, and they are the present of this country. So we are absolutely taking our stance in that community with the biggest name in that community moving forward to help bring exposure, additional revenue lines, additional technology, and the ability to be discovered to app developers all across the world as well as in our own house. So our revenue model moving forward has basically one major focus is the creation or the collaboration of brilliant technologies that allow users a great experience, that also provide in-app transaction capabilities for our internal revenue model and our structure that allow us to be able to facilitate the Mimvi technologies across each and every app store on the marketplace. So from here, I'd like to hand the ball over to Kevin Connor. Kevin is our CFO, and he would like to walk you through a couple of different things here today. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Eric, and thank NASDAQ for the opportunity to be here. I am Kevin Connor. I'm the CFO of the company. We are a U.S. SEC reporting company, as everyone knows. We have created a sustainable shareholder value since August of 2011, with raising a little over $2.3 million in equity. We've cleaned up our balance sheet. We're prepared to move forward. We're in a capital raise right now that's going to be quite valuable to our current and future shareholders. Our goal is to grow the business and to uplist to the NASDAQ as soon as we can, which all depends upon the gentleman behind me and implementing the business plan and taking the company forward. So I put it back to Mike Poutre at this point. Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. Thank you, team. And really, we are a team here at Mimvi. As I mentioned before, our journey to get here has not been an easy one. A lot of the companies in our space finance themselves through the VC route, and they're able to go out and raise 10, 20, 30 million or more dollars to finance themselves. And this company from the very beginning has bootstrapped itself, and it has been a hard, long fight. And we are able to introduce measures of success and execution based on capital raises that are a small percentage of what some of our peers have received. Not only that, we are the only one in our line of business that has a clear vision for where the future is going, how we're going to make money, and how we're going to execute on it. And that is invaluable. And that is good news for our shareholders. We are grateful for all of those who have demonstrated their trust in us heretofore. And we're looking forward to bringing on many more shareholders and to demonstrating what execution from a team of hard-fought people really is. So with that, I want to thank the NASDAQ again. I want to thank our partners, Entrepreneur Media, certainly Microsoft, and everybody else who's helped us get here. And I would say, Mimvi's arrived, and look out for us because we're coming. Thank you all. Yes, sir.
Oh, wait, hang on. Just to be able to
Hi, it's Doug Schmidt. I had a question as it relates to the marketplace that you guys are creating. I'm a little confused because I look at the apps on my iPhone that I use, Angry Birds or abcnews.com or whatever the app is. And how are you guys actually taking that and turning it into a different platform or business model? If you could elaborate a little bit more on that, I'm very curious.
Sure. Occasion? Yeah.
So one thing that we've noticed, and one thing Apple noticed, was that when people would search on the iOS store, the iTunes store for apps, they weren't finding what they were looking for. That's why Apple had to go out and acquire a company called Chomp, which was our competitor. And that didn't quite work out for them very well. I can go into details of that later. But if you can't enable people to find apps, if you're having trouble enabling people to discover apps, those apps don't exist. And if apps don't exist, your company doesn't exist. There are companies that are finding that out the hard way today. No apps, no sales. So what we do is we have a specialized crawling system. We have what are called targeted crawlers. And they go out and they retrieve information about the apps. And then we index these apps with a special set of algorithms, vector space algorithms, that mimic the way humans process information cognitively. So that provides a better search experience and a better discovery experience. And we all know what happens when you provide a better search experience. Lycos knows what happened. Yahoo knows what happened. All the web knows what happened. Who else? Webcrawler knows what happened when a better search experience came to be. That was Google, right? So you provide a better search experience for all the world's mobile apps by scouring the world's mobile stores, crawling for reviews. These could be social sites as well. What happens after that is you just have a better search and discovery platform. Now, in terms of monetization, then you're doing something that today's search engines can't do, and that is take a revenue share on transactions that are happening inside of that app in exchange for creating exposure for that app developer or the owner of that app. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that does. Thank you very much. And the other question is, what type of percentage do you guys take on those app companies?
The percentage varies. It varies based on the developer. It varies based on how many apps the developer has, how much success they've had in the past. So we don't have a hard set rule for that. We negotiate on an individual basis.
I'd like to follow up with that by saying to truly appreciate the scale of what we're talking about. Last year, in 2011, you had about 1 million apps in existence. There were 250 plus million web pages in the world. In the next 7 to 10 years, and that's a conservative number. Sorry, websites, thank you. In the next 7 to 10 years, and that's a conservative number, all 250 plus million websites in this world are going to have either be mobile optimized or have a native app associated with them. So people right now are going out and saying, boy, there's too many apps out there. Well, we haven't even begun to see how many apps are going to be out there. So how do you find, organize, make sure that you have on your personal device the apps that are relevant to you? Because what Mimvi can do is you and your friend, if we have your data points around you and you're standing next to each other and you do the same search, we can provide different results to each of you because we understand the relevancy of what it is that you're doing. And of course, the native app, what it has over the website is that it taps into the internal machinations of the phone, the accelerometer, the GPS, the camera. So we can take a look at who you are, where you are, which is providing results that are much more relevant. And as Kaysen talked about earlier, relevancy is key. Relevancy is the answer here. That is what's going to make us prove our platform out.
Thank you, gentlemen. Can you just confirm, I know that you're rolling out now on the Microsoft platform, but you are going to be able to roll out on the Android and the iTunes as well?
Absolutely, without question. We have submitted our main and our primary app, our core business app, to the Windows 8, to Microsoft. It's in their hands right now. It'll be released in a few days. And as a tip of the hat to our partners at Microsoft, all of Mimvi's apps that we develop natively will be available on Windows before they're available on the other platforms, about 30 days. But to be sure, I mean, you can't deny the marketplace. Right now, as much as we love Microsoft, the world is a Mac world and an Android world. And so our products will certainly be available to there. And yes, let Kaysen jump in here too.
The other important thing about Microsoft here is that although Microsoft has about as of yesterday, about 20,000 apps for the Windows Phone 8 platform. These apps are going to be able to be run on desktops as well. And that's to the tune of 400 million. That number there, in terms of consumer audience, dwarfs Apple and Google combined. If you're an app developer, once Microsoft arranges for these apps to be running on the desktops, and we know they're the king of the desktop, you're going to have access to the widest consumer audience. So developers are going to shoot over there. We'll be there, ready and waiting, of course, helping people find these apps, even on the desktop. So that's a key point to remember.
Hi, this is Matt Bird. How exactly does a user experience engage the Mimvi app? Is it an icon drop? Is it just a search platform? What is the user experience going to be like on Windows 8?
I'm sorry, did you ask how does the user use the Mimvi app?
Correct.
All right, well, one of two ways. First of all, you can go to our website and use it from a desktop. Secondly, our website is mobile optimized, so you can download it as a web app onto your screen. And most phones are designed to treat a web app as a regular app, so you scarcely notice the difference. And three, in a couple days' time, you can download the Windows 8 app on the Windows 8 phones. And then in 30 days, it'll be available on Mac and Android.
Quick question for you guys. You've mentioned Microsoft and Entrepreneur Media. Do you guys have any other partners currently or on the horizon?
Well, yes, but nothing really that we can disclose. We're not going to talk about deals that aren't done, but we we are out there every day, and our phone is busy. So it's we are these days. Mobile media and mobile is the new. It's the tip of the spear. It's the white hot place, and our industry is flavor of the month, if you will. So we're getting a lot of looks. A lot of people are wondering what we are, and then certainly I think going forward, today's really planting a flag on the top of the hill and saying we're here and we're finally ready. It's taken the company quite some time to make sure that we're at the point where we were ready for mass commercialization, to be able to really go out and stand up against the big boys. We had to make sure that we were properly financed. We had to make sure that we had the right team in place on all levels, executive, finance, engineering, sales, and we believe we have that mix now. So we're going forward with gusto, and we're looking. So there's your answer.
Hi, what is fundamentally different about mobile app search versus traditional web search, and why couldn't a traditional search player port their same algorithms over to mobile app search?
Great question. I'm going to hand that off to Kajin.
A couple of years ago, I think it was John Battelle, he wrote the book on search. It was about Google. And he had been interviewing Google engineers in terms of why it's so difficult to help people find mobile apps. This kept coming up again and again, that mobile apps don't have incoming and outgoing links. That's what the entire web is based on, incoming and outgoing links, hyperlinks. Google's PageRank algorithm relies on incoming and outgoing links to score web pages for relevancy. Mobile apps don't have incoming and outgoing links. What mobile apps have are immense amounts of context associated to them. They have user reviews, they have large descriptions associated to them. They have other apps that in fact surround them. So number one, it's really difficult to build a standard search engine for mobile apps. You have to adjust parameters, all kinds of parameters related to popularity, purchase patterns, overall relevancy, concept relations, things that are related by concept. Now that's just for standard search. When you want to build a discovery engine where people are serendipitously finding apps that they're interested in, that takes technology that we have, which mimics the process of human cognition, the way that people process information. The machines that we are working on are intelligent machines. They involve cognitive computing. They involve things like vector space, which I mentioned earlier. When you utilize that and you build a search and discovery engine, what happens is you're providing better search than anyone else, and you're providing better recommendations or discovery than anyone else. And as we know, recommendations are very important. They drive businesses like Amazon and Netflix. So recommendations for apps are extremely important, not just for the particular company selling the apps or making a profit on them, but individual developers around the world that want to get their apps discovered. So you have to have a decent engine for that. But to get back to your question, incoming and outgoing links, that's what the entire PageRank algorithm, the entire web is based on, and mobile apps don't have those.
If that's it, then thank you very much, everybody.